On this week's episode of Roundabout U, we meet the son of one of America's greatest civil rights leaders.
And one lucky student gets to be treated like a president for the day.
We will also take you to this year's nonprofit connection.
And finally, we get ready for the Year of the Monkey.
I'm BREANNA SILL.
And I'm SHELBY SMITHSON. Welcome to Roundabout U. With 2016 being the 60th year anniversary of desegregation on campus,
Murray State University had the honor to welcome Martin Luther King III as guest speaker for the 12th annual Murray State Presidential Lecture Series. 11 guest lecturers have preceded Martin Luther King III in the lecture series, from the late Benazir Bhutto.
And as I took my final leave of my father from the death cell, I was determined to fulfill his dream for a democratic Pakistan.
To Desmond Tutu.
What's happened to us that we don't use our noggins?
And to Ben Stein.
I love the racers, and I told my producer at Fox I couldn't be on the show today because I had to be with the racers, and he said, "Go Racers, go." He apparently had gone here. I'd never known it, but God bless you.
All the lecturers throughout the past 12 years have made lasting impressions for the Murray State community year after year. This year's lecturer, Martin Luther King III, son of civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr., spoke to a large crowd of students, faculty, and staff inside Lovett Auditorium. Before his lecture focusing on civil rights in the 21st century, King fielded questions at a press conference in front of an audience that included students from the We Are Brave program, designed to challenge students in grades K through 3 to be strong and victorious in all that they do.
My father and his team and many others contributed significantly toward the modern civil rights movement, creating the consciousness for a Civil Rights Act of 1964, a Voting Rights Act of 1965, fair housing legislation in 1968. So in one sense, probably in the 80s and 90s, most people were saying, well, civil rights, why do we even need to be addressing that issue? Isn't that already done? Well, the reality is if we look at what has occurred in many areas around our nation over the last 3 to 4, maybe 5 years, we've seen a nation that has become more divided and not working together collectively for the good of all Americans.
Even though King believes America is becoming more divided, it is his hope that Americans will come together and be more active in governing.
No matter what we as a society, in terms of who's going to lead our nation particularly, it's not just the president. The president has a significant role, he or she. Will have a significant role. But it really is the American people who have to be engaged in governing. I hope that more people vote in this coming election than have ever voted before.
Mary Ford Holland, the first African-American student at Murray State, first stepped on campus in the summer of 1955 and set in motion 60 years of history and significant contributions by Murray State's African-American students, faculty, staff, and alumni. King shared his thoughts on the historical milestone at Murray State.
I think it's wonderful that Murray State has chosen and should be acknowledging the fact that 60 years ago integration occurred. I mean, that's really phenomenal as you think about it. And the fact that every time an anniversary occurs, we can look back and look at our progress. We can say, we've made progress. Have we made enough progress? The answer may be yes or no. I would tend to say probably no, but it does not mean progress has not been made.
The Presidential Lecture Series is sponsored by the Murray State Foundation, Murray State's Office of the President, and the Student Government Association. A committee works almost a year in advance to select the guest lecturer.
We wanted someone that really represented the civil rights movement. No one could have done better than Martin Luther King III. Just hearing him talk at the press conference alone, very, very intelligent man, and he had me, every single word he said, I was just itching to hear more.
On social media, University President Dr. Bob Davies held a special contest for Murray State students. Up for grabs was the opportunity to be a VIP for a Racer basketball game. The band was warming up, and the girls were ready to play as fans gathered to watch. Among them was Murray State's first VIP for a game. Earlier that week, our own President Davies held a contest on social media for students to win a chance to be a VIP for a game. Trista posted this photo to her Instagram in hopes of winning. A few days later, she was picked to be our first VIP.
I'm super excited. I was checking every day to see if they posted the winner, and I think when they posted the winner, I called my coworker and my husband all at the same time.
Among her prizes were a VIP parking spot, free racer gear, free food and drinks, and a seat in the president's box for a game. As a VIP, Trista represented an important part of the racer community.
I am non-traditional, so I'm 29, and I went to school when I was 18 for a couple years, and then took some time off to travel and do some seasonal work, and my husband's from Murray, so we moved back here for me to go back to school. I love Murray. Everyone's so friendly, and my classes are interesting and engaging.
Once the women's game had finished, and before the men's game began, Trista got to see another part of the CFSB Center exclusive to VIPs. Trista met with several other VIPs, all of whom were excited to talk about their passion for Murray State.
I loved when I came here. I felt safe. I love the community of Murray. But beyond that, I love that Murray State values me as a student, and they really will go above and beyond to make sure I'm going to succeed.
After speaking with her fellow VIPs, Trista headed back down to watch the men's game. The boys played hard, and Trista was there to cheer to the end. Dr. Davies was particularly excited to have Trista among the VIPs.
I just, it was one of those things that we said, we do students, it's sort of very important. Why not have a VIP of a student for the game? Allow the students to kind of enter a competition through Instagram, answering the question why they should be a VIP. And it's several things. One, to expose them to some of the things that we do, to give them an award, have fun, to build camaraderie. But also at the same time, here are a lot of supporters who, again, make contributions to scholarships, our academic programs, and other things, to connect them with our students, and to have one that was selected that wasn't the normal one. It's a different angle. Was something that we can do to have that student communicate and interact with our guests.
Fortunately, President Davies says that this won't be the last time we have a VIP for a game. So make sure to follow Murray State on social media so that you can have a chance to be VIP for a game. Another exciting event at the basketball game was the unveiling of the first official Murray State University college ring. Murray State Alumni Association partnered up with Balfour Company to offer several designs. Students and alumni of Murray State who attended the game were able to gather more information about ordering a personalized ring, such as material, stone, degree, date, and even inside engraving. Flyers about the ring were passed out before and after the basketball game.
Today's game, we're unveiling the brand new official Murray State University ring, which now will be produced by Balfour.
A lucky student was able to win a free ring from Balfour during a halftime competition. The other competitors gained a special prize for participating in the event.
We've selected 3 teams, and they're going to compete for a chance to win a ring each for the male and female team. In addition, we're going to be throwing 100 ring pops up into the stands, and any student who gets a ring pop will have a discount if they order a ring this next week on campus.
The partnership between Balfour and Murray State formed at the beginning of the spring 2016 semester.
We decided to go with Balfour because they're a recognized leader in providing graduation paraphernalia, including rings. Got a great reputation in the country. We felt like their product matched the excellence and the quality of Murray State University.
The following Monday, there was a table available in the Curry Center for students to get more information and details about the class ring. Students are now able to place an order for their official Murray State ring.
The Murray State Women's Center supports and empowers women and men to unite as equal partners and become leaders on campus and beyond. The director of the center, Abigail French, is here to provide us with information on the upcoming events. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, so glad to be here.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about what the Women's Center does as a whole?
Yeah, so the Women's Center is a support service to both students, faculty, and staff. We provide support services such as counseling and advocacy to students who may be in situations such as sexual assault, dating violence, stalking. So we work with them in advocacy to help them prepare for reporting, talk to them about safety planning, talk to them about the resources in the community that are available to them. And so that's sort of all, while it's happening, while they're reporting, while they're reaching out type of thing that we do. And then after the fact, we work with them individually through counseling and just talking to them about how they want to move forward with their lives and the things that they need, making sure that they're continuing to be supported.
So it's not just women who are welcome at the Women's Center, it's open to men and women.
Correct, and we do work with both men and women on all of those topics. We know that traditionally, violence-based crimes were thought of to be a woman's problem and not necessarily men, but we know that in recent years much more attention has been focused on how men are also affected by sexual assault, how they can also be victims of dating violence and often victims of stalking as well.
So you mentioned that students come and if they're dealing with sexual assault or stalking, what's the first step that they should take when something like that happens?
Yeah, so it's different for every person, and that's one of the very first conversations that I have with a student especially is to say, this process is about you and it's about what you need. So there's not a right first step and there's not a wrong first step, it's about what you need. And so for some students, they really need to start off with counseling. That's what they want. They need to feel supported, they need to feel like they've gotten just sort of their own personal reaction under control before they feel like they can go and tell their story to somebody else. And for others, that first step for them is reporting. And so in that case, we help them make those contacts and meet with the officers or with Title IX or whoever it is that they need to meet with.
Yeah, of course. So there's some upcoming events that the Women's Center is sponsoring. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Yeah, so March is a busy month for us. It's National Women's History Month, so we have Celebrate Women Luncheon in March, which is always a lot of fun. This is the 28th year that the Women's Center has hosted the event on campus, and so it's a long-standing tradition. And we're really excited about it. It's going to be on March 14th, which is a Monday, at 12:30 in the Kerr Center Ballroom. And this year, Susan Guess, one of our Board of Regents members, is going to be speaking at the luncheon. And then we'll also have a performance piece by one of the professors here on campus, Dr. Constance Alexander. She'll be performing some pieces that she's collected from students on gender equality. So it's going to be a great luncheon. And then after spring break, the Monday after, we'll be having Take Back the Night on the 28th. And so we're still working on all the details of that, but we'll be keeping students posted about when that is.
Good. Glad to hear that. So can you tell me how someone can get in touch with you if they're having a problem and need your help?
Yeah, so we're a very open office. You're welcome to walk in anytime over in Applied Science. It's C102 there in the front of the building. And students can walk in. They can make an appointment if they'd like to. They can email msu.womencenter@murraystate.edu or call the office at 809-3016.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
The Murray State Women's Center joined the National Love is Respect Week by promoting healthy relationships. They work to raise awareness on dating violence and how to safely get out of an unhealthy or abusive relationship. An information table was set up in the Kerr Center for college students to stop and share their definition of what love is. The national movement raised awareness about healthy and unhealthy relationships and connected students to support services available to them. The Murray State Women's Center worked along with the Merriman House to promote Love is Respect Week.
Unhealthy relationships involve emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. A lot of times people don't think that emotional abuse is a form of violence, but we definitely need to take into account that those things do happen and is a red flag. They are some different things that people need to pay attention to, such as coercion, victim blaming, stalking, and just verbal abuse.
Bringing awareness to a campus community is important because most victims of abuse, whether emotional or physical, are young people between the ages of 17 and 24.
We like to really hit hard in campuses and places like this because we want to prevent the violence before it actually happens. So that's one of the reasons why we're just promoting these healthy relationships, to get people to thinking and to provoke that conversation within the campus community.
Educating people about the warning signs can prevent violence and make a difference in someone's life.
Dating violence is just pretty much a cycle of power and control. So at any time, if you're in a relationship and you feel like you can't control your own daily activities, or if you do something like wear a certain clothing or something that your partner is not very open to, then those are some of the signs. And people have those boundaries, like what may seem like it's crossing boundaries to some people may not be crossing boundaries, so it's just really good to have that conversation so that you'll know what's acceptable and not acceptable in a relationship. Our hope is to have these people be more self-sustainable, self-efficient, where they can self-regulate their emotions and different problems that they may have in their life.
The Murray State University Women's Center is located on the first floor of Oakley Applied Science, Suite C 102.
An opportunity to serve the Murray-Callaway County community while also strengthening resumes was extended to Murray State students of all majors. Key players in Murray's nonprofit organizations all gathered in the Curris Center Dance Lounge to better inform students, faculty, and staff about some of the services offered, as well as to recruit interns and volunteers. Organizations present stressed the advantages of volunteering for students in all different majors.
And I participated in this event. It helped me build so many connections, both professionally and personally. I learned so much. I was a nonprofit major, but at the same time, I've had a lot of other friends get involved with it as well, and it's extremely beneficial for you, but it's extremely also beneficial to those that are being serviced as well.
What is a growing opportunity for students also allows the nonprofit organizations to develop new techniques by learning what works for the other organizations in Murray.
Definitely, it is a great opportunity, and thankfully in the community of Murray-Callaway County, all the nonprofits are very involved in knowing what's going on with other people. We're all trying to help each other out. Everyone has different causes, but at the same time we're all just trying to make the community a better place and trying to just help those in need and in all areas that everyone can. So it's a huge connection for everyone as well.
The organizations provide a special advantage to those students who are new to and unfamiliar with the Murray-Callaway County area.
As well, all the different nonprofits have something to offer, and so being involved and immersed in the community itself gives you so many different opportunities just to see and learn about yourself throughout the process while helping others, which is great.
Involvement in community service adds an edge to anyone's resume. NLS majors have an even more significant reason to participate in the programs represented at the Nonprofit Communications Fair.
Most professors require 15 hours of volunteer service in the community, and for new students that are just now coming to Murray State, they now get to meet people in the area who they could do their volunteers with.
Overall, the event served two general purposes.
Yes, it's definitely a win-win situation for all the people that are involved. For the students, especially those that are just coming to university, they might not be familiar with the Murray-Callaway County community at all. It gives them an opportunity to get really involved within the community. Since they're already here at the university, it gives them a great chance to try and help out and help the community prosper. It helps the nonprofits a lot as well, just because it gets them on campus, brings awareness to what they're doing and what's happening in the community, and so it's doing that big connection for all students in general, not just nonprofit majors or minors at the university, but just everyone in general trying to help out.
The annual Murray Shakespeare Festival is coming to town, and you are invited to attend. You can expect stage combat workshops to Julius Caesar performances, all taking place on Murray State's campus. Here to tell you more about the event is Rusty Jones. Thank you so much for joining us
It's my
today.
pleasure, my pleasure.
So first off, can you tell us a little bit about the events that are going to take place?
This is the 15th year that we've had the American Shakespeare Center come from Stanton, Virginia, and put on performances and workshops and all sorts of events for the students and for the community. So it's for Murray State and for everybody. So starting during the week of March 7th, they're going to come on campus. They're going to do 3 performances of Shakespeare's tragedy Julius Caesar and 1 performance of Shakespeare's Henry V. There's 2 daytime performances of Julius Caesar and a nighttime performance of Henry V, All this information is available on our website, murraystate.edu/Shakespeare, so the full list of events are there. And then they're going to be conducting some workshops. You mentioned stage combat. If you've ever known a student who wanted to figure out how to take a good punch on stage and be safe, or get stabbed with a sword and not get hurt, that's the workshop for them. We've got lectures, 3 of them, 2 history lectures, one on Julius Caesar by Dr. Aaron Irvin, one on Henry V by Dr. Kathy Callahan. Dr. Andy Black will be talking about film versions of Julius Caesar. That should be interesting. Then some very specific events for students that should be a lot of fun. One is going to happen on Monday, March 7th. We'll be in the Curris Center. It's our flash mob. We do this every single year. We give away t-shirts and prizes. This year, students will have the opportunity to kill Julius Caesar in very silly and goofy ways. And they'll also be able to witness this wonderful event that we picked up off the internet. We think it's going to go well. We have students who have volunteered to eat jalapeno peppers and then recite Shakespeare monologues. It's the Shakespeare Chili Pepper Challenge, so that'll be good. The final event is a roundtable panel discussion with Murray State University veterans about their experience of war and what Shakespeare got right and what he got wrong in his depiction in Henry V. So it's an absolutely full week of events. We really hope students come out, enjoy the performances, take part in the workshops, take part in the other fun events that are going on, learn something about Shakespeare. This is the 400th anniversary of his death, so it's a big year for Shakespeare events. So we want students to come out and realize how much fun he can be, and how accessible he is, and really how relevant he is to what's happening today in politics and in history and political events, that kind of thing.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you do to prepare for this event?
Well, let's see. I'm the chair of the Shakespeare Festival itself, so I book the performances about a year ahead. With my committee, I get together and we decide which kind of events will be best for the community, which ones will be best for the campus. We are also taking, for example, the actors from the American Shakespeare Center out into the community. We're going to be at Playhouse in the Park, in Central Park, and it's not just for members of the community. Anybody can come, learn about stagecraft, learn about acting from professional actors. So once we've decided on the plays, we really decide on which events are going to be the most beneficial for everyone involved.
So what's your favorite part of the whole festival?
Oh my goodness. Well, besides the performances, which is always a highlight for me, I do enjoy taking the actors out into the community because I really like to see the community respond to what they think is inaccessible old material, old plays. What can be gained from this? And they really find out there's a lot to be gained from this. But I must admit, that Shakespeare Chili Pepper Challenge sounds very interesting to me. Not that I like to watch students in pain, I don't, but I have a feeling that a monologue like Romeo's but soft what light through yonder window breaks will only be accentuated by someone whose mouth is basically on fire. So we want students to go out and have fun with this, but to also learn from it. Julius Caesar couldn't be a more contemporary play with its discussion of political factions and infighting and the quest to either secure a republic, make it safer, or in some way expand on it. So it's got a lot of contemporary value to it. So I hope students come out and see it.
So can you say one more time when the first event is of the Shakespeare Festival?
The very first event is the Flash Mob on Monday, March 7th at noon in the Curris Center. And then after that, the performances are Tuesday night during that week, Tuesday the 8th for Julius Caesar. 2 daytime performances Wednesday and Thursday of that week. I think that's the 9th and the 10th. And then a nighttime performance on the 10th of Henry V. But for a list of all the other events, they can go to the website that I mentioned, murraystate.edu/Shakespeare. Find the whole list, go there and enjoy themselves.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to the Shakespeare Festival.
Oh, my pleasure.
Murray State students and faculty members gathered in Winslow Dining Hall to celebrate the Chinese New Year together. Winslow served up some traditional Chinese meals and provided entertainment to help attendees feel in touch with Chinese culture. Months of planning and preparation take place before the chefs at Winslow are ready to whip up the Chinese New Year meal.
Tradition of Chinese New Year, we like to decorate and do the cuisines. We do a wide variety of the food. Of course, being chef de cuisine, I oversee the production of food, solely that actually. We have traditional Chinese music. There's a ceremony that they do. A lot of the international students in the Chinese community come in for it and volunteer and do a lot of great work for us as well. So it's a lot of fun for everybody.
Every year in Chinese culture represents a different zodiac animal. 2016 is the year of the monkey. An international student from China said back home they celebrate the New Year in a big way.
Stay with your families and eat together, and nobody works on that day. Just have fun with your families.
The food served in Winslow on this day is traditional Chinese cuisine.
We do several different cuisines, from stir fries to sweet and sour pork, authentic, whole roasted pig, noodle bowl like a ramen house style. So it's a lot of fun for us.
Although the dish students seem to enjoy most is the whole roasted pig.
The suckling pig is our most popular. It's an action station, so it's really very interactive with the customer too. The person who's actually chopping it right now does a lot of interacting and talking with the customer.
That's all the time we have for today. If you missed a part of today's show, you can always check us out on the web at roundaboutu.com.
And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Shelby SMITHSON.
And I'm BREANNA SILL. Thanks for watching Roundabout U.